And I'm after you. I smell like a sound. I'm lost and found. And I'm hungry like the wolf.
Two of the other new bands were really just Duran Duran. It was a splintered year for Duran Duran as they released 2 albums under 2 different names. John and Andy Taylor made the first move, forming the Power Station with Robert Palmer and former Chic drummer Tony Thompson. Not to be outdone, Simon Le Bon and Nick Rhodes recruited Roger Taylor and recorded as Arcadia.
What brought about the solo projects in the first place with the band?
I think
they started it. It wasn't us at all.
I think that after sort of 5 years of living together out of each other's pockets 24 hours a day, you really need to take some sort of break from each other. So instead of sort of going 5 separate ways, we just sort of split in half.
The Power Station's approach mixed funk with heavy metal, and their album, released in March, went platinum. But on the eve of the band's U.S. tour, Robert Palmer backed out, and pinch hitter Michael DeBar became the luckiest man in rock and roll.
I got this call out of the blue from Wayne, who is the Power Station's representative, saying, "What are you doing this summer?" And I said, well, you know, I'll be working on my album and doing it. And he said, well, there's a group that needs a singer. And I said, well, what group is that? And he said, can't tell you. All right. So I said, well, call me when you can tell me. So he called me a couple of days later and he said, it's the Power Station. So I dropped the phone, picked it up, and said, yes, I'm available.
If Michael didn't work out, it was off. The tour was off, you know. So it was one of those kind of things where it's got to work. I remember it was like when I first got contact lenses. I said, I've got to wear however painful they are, it's got to work. Yeah. And thank God it did, and we're having a great laugh doing it.
Arcadia's approach was a little more artistic. They recorded and remixed all year long in Paris and New York, burning up nearly $1 million to fashion, so read The Rose, as Simon indulged himself in a new role, playing guitar.
I mean, obviously, I'm not a professional guitarist, but I had to put some of me down playing guitar on this album. It's the only chance I'd ever get. Andy Taylor would never let me go anywhere near a guitar before.
When he wasn't experimenting musically, Simon was bragging about his sailing ability.
Us English are faster and quicker than any of you guys.
But he almost drowned when his boat capsized in a race off the coast of England. The Durans did get together once or twice in '85. First, they recorded A View to a Kill, their James Bond fantasy, which went to #1. Then they performed a barely rehearsed set at Live Aid. They were also set to headline Super Concert 1 in Anaheim, but it was canceled when the promoters' check bounced. Through it all, Duran Duran proved they're a band to be reckoned with, if not amused by.
I love this guy. I wish he was my daddy.